Yes, it's Albert Wenger's The World After Capital. And
Okay, very interesting topic. Hard to
yes.
capture in a book, but I'm sure he does it justice. You were singing his praises a lot.
Oh yeah, and that's the very, very specific reason why I call it technology, because it pretty much goes into how, starting from day dot with, fire or the invention of the wheel into
or the written form of language.
And then, like, to where we are nowadays. I guess to kind of do like a quick recap of it, he's basically saying, hey, we're kind of at a crossroads. And he does go into these ideas with technology of, zero marginal cost and the universality of computation. So just quickly to kind of go into that is zero marginal cost is like, hey, you open a pizza shop, you've got the oven running, and you've got your workers handy. If you were to cook a pizza, making that pizza, how much cost is involved in that compared to the price?
Right. And in the information age or the knowledge age, there's a new kind of form happening when it comes to producing kind of value and things in society, right?
Well, yes, because the thing is, unlike your imaginary pizza shop owner, because of zero marginal cost with putting something onto the internet, if I create a YouTube video and I put it on there, there's no marginal cost in me leaving something up on YouTube. It can just keep on ticking away with the views and the comments and all of that, and well, there's no upkeep costs. Like, I'm sure potentially there is for YouTube, but not for you. But and then, of course, there's the universality of computation, which, like I was saying before, the creation of fire, at least the ability to make fire, and then the creation of the wheel. And he basically goes through in a bunch of graphs how, starting from that to where we are now, and he uses the example of, non-commercial flight, or at least starting from the Wright brothers to non-commercial flight. Technology has basically exponentially shot up with growth. So there's a huge difference between the Wright brothers when they were first doing their first flight, heavier than air flight, compared to now, where hey, you can go into a commercial flight and go halfway across the world, whereas say take one step back, before you had to get onto a ship, and I don't know, it would take you months and months to get somewhere. So exponential growth because of universality of computation. And this is where his huge claims come in. And this brings us to what he talks about in the knowledge age. What he believes is that at the moment we're at a crossroads. We're pretty much like the start of the industrial age, where instead of capital being scarce, it's actually attention. And this is where the idea of the job loop comes in, because as people on this who are frequent this channel know, structures like capitalism and all of that means we're kind of stuck in a loop where you're a person with skills, you sell your labor in order to buy stuff to consume, and that is kind of
dynamic between production and consumption, or work or labor and consumption. And they are intrinsically linked, but one leads to the other, and then vice versa.
Yes, and really that kind of job loop, that's important for
the
industrial age, where you have a compliant worker who, has their job description, and they're not very creative. Well, they could be creative, but they stick to their job description, and that's about it. Because I guess they could have a job description that's creative, but that's not for that's not for every single job that's within the industrial age. And because yes, there has been exponential growth within the industrial ages and the ages before that, but it it starts to peel off.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's where I was talking about in the video essay about, when you have patents and, our great overlords, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, like monopolies.
When you have monopolies, then it only gets so far. And this is where he was really reinforcing the idea of what isn't scarce now is capital. It's actually attention.